Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Bobby King. I am from Middle East. Welcome back on my YouTube channel. I hope you are fine there. God give you more happiness for you all. You live always happy there. Your one-stop destination for all things related to the Iraqi dinar. As you know in my videos, I try my level best to give you the most recent update of Iraqi dinar. Please don't forget hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Watch complete video for support me. Share and like also. Let's just start to the latest update about the Iraqi dinar.
When we look at Iraq today, it's easy to forget the untapped potential that has been lying dormant for nearly a decade. The world might not be seeing it now, but what's unfolding is part of a much bigger, long-awaited plan. A plan that, if executed as it was intended, could have transformed Iraq's economy, stabilized its currency, and positioned it for unprecedented growth. But as we reflect on the current situation, it's hard to ignore the fact that Iraq had the chance to complete this process 6 to 8 years ago, yet, it was delayed. The currency was printed, but the country missed its window to implement the necessary changes. This is not just a missed opportunity. It's a story of what could have been and what might still come to fruition. Despite the setbacks, Iraq is now approaching the final stages of an economic transformation that is bound to reshape its future. But before we dive into the hopeful side of the story, let's take a moment to understand the journey, the obstacles, and the lessons learned along the way. The currency that was printed but never used back in the early 2010s, Iraq was on the verge of making a monumental move. The Iraqi government, along with its central bank, had already printed new currency, preparing to roll out a series of new notes designed to stabilize the country's economy and reduce the inflationary pressures that had plagued the nation since the fall of Saddam Hussein's regime. This was a necessary step to rebuild Iraq's financial system after years of war, instability, and international sanctions. But for reasons still not entirely clear, the rollout of these new bills was halted, and the country found itself stuck in a cycle of missed deadlines and unfinished projects. It was a critical juncture. The currency could have been used to anchor the economy, bring stability to the exchange rate, and even provide a foundation for foreign investment. But instead of seeing the project through, Iraq found itself delaying progress again and again. As a result, billions of dinars were printed, yet largely went unused. Some of that money might have even been destroyed, burned or turned into pellets, as is sometimes done to destroy excess currency. This stagnation wasn't just a setback in terms of currency, it was a larger reflection of the systemic challenges that Iraq faced: political instability, corruption, security issues, and a lack of coherent economic strategy. The world watched as Iraq struggled to implement reforms, and many questioned whether the country would ever get back on track. But what people didn't realize at the time is that the seeds for Iraq's future financial revolution had already been planted, even if it was too early for them to bloom. The push toward a digital future fast forward to today, and Iraq is finally making progress toward a solution. The world is moving toward a cashless society, and Iraq is no exception. In fact, the country has taken significant steps in recent years toward embracing digital currency and moving away from traditional forms of cash. A cashless world has many advantages: it's more secure, less prone to inflationary pressures, and it's an essential part of modernizing a nation's economy. Iraq, recognizing the global shift, is keen to integrate digital payment systems and explore the possibility of a digital dinar. The move toward a digital economy is promising, but it also creates challenges. While the central bank is focused on making Iraq's financial system more digital, there's a fundamental question that remains. How do you transition from a largely cash-based economy to a completely digital one without alienating large portions of the population? It's a delicate balance, and it's one that the Iraqi government is slowly, but surely, navigating. The truth is that even in a world moving toward digital currencies, the need for some form of physical currency is unlikely to disappear entirely. While Iraq's future might be centered around digital payments, it's likely that the government will still rely on smaller denominations of physical notes to help facilitate transactions in certain sectors. These smaller notes might be used for everyday purchases, ensuring that the most vulnerable parts of society are not left behind in the digital shift. The exact role of these small notes remains unclear, but they will likely play a part in bridging the gap between Iraq's current cash-based economy and its digital future. The hopeful vision for Iraq's future. Despite the setbacks and delays of the past, Iraq's journey is far from over. The truth is, the country has a unique opportunity to learn from its past mistakes and forge a new path forward. The missed chances of 6 to 8 years ago do not define Iraq's future. They merely serve as a reminder that progress often comes in fits and starts. What's important now is that Iraq is finally on the brink of realizing its potential. The new currency may be released at some point, but more importantly, Iraq is on the path toward becoming a digital economy. The groundwork is being laid for a stronger financial system, one that can weather the storms of geopolitical instability and internal challenges. For Iraqis, the future holds promise. While the process to complete this transformation might take time, the eventual results will bring lasting stability. The currency may not be as we once expected, but it will serve a critical function in Iraq's new financial landscape. With a blend of digital currency and physical money in circulation, Iraq will eventually find its place in the modern global economy. This story is one of hope and resilience. It's a reminder that while the journey may be longer than expected, the destination will be worth the wait. The world may not see the full impact of these changes today, but when the pieces finally come together, Iraq will emerge as a stronger, more stable nation ready to take its place on the global stage. Iraq's financial future is not just a dream, it's a reality waiting to unfold. In conclusion, I want to encourage my friends watching to stay positive and patient, as patience is truly the key to success. Please subscribe to my channel and show your support. Wishing you all a wonderful day.